Hello there.
General Kenobi!
Greetings one and all, my name is Lancer and welcome to me struggling to keep my promise, otherwise known as Obi-Wan Kenobi, my reaction series, halfway through the first season. Listen, I have my excuses and whatnot, but also I don't really want to admit to YouTube why that's the case, just in case they decide to crack down on certain things. You could figure it out, whatever. But suffice to say, I have figured out the code, I've cracked the code, and now I will be reacting to Obi-Wan Kenobi. But this first part, I'd say, let's do a recap of these first 3 episodes. Obi-Wan is here. He's struggling to keep attuned with the Force. He can barely even sleep at night, and he keeps having flashbacks like episode 3 and stuff like that. He's keeping watch over Luke, but Owen doesn't want that. He wants him to just go away. The Inquisitors are on the hunt for Obi-Wan, and one of the main ones we're following is third sister, Riva, whatever, the internet's favorite Star Wars character right now. She's specifically after Obi-Wan for an unknown reason yet. I'm sure that'll become apparent soon enough. But as well as last episode, we had a very interesting confrontation between Obi-Wan and Vader already, and a very, what I almost described as fan filmish, almost type lightsaber fight and scene. Like, obviously, it's top of the line stuff, but like there's just a part of it when I was watching, I was just like, this kind of feels almost fan filmy, just because like it was mainly kind of the location, the lighting, and just whatnot. I mean, it was still a great scene, don't get me wrong, when Vader, like dragged Obi-Wan through the fire, giving him a little taste of what he felt 10 years ago. I look forward to seeing the aftermath of this, because now we have our first sort of rebel, the lady from last time who kind of has like this underground railroad for Jedi, and we got a little Easter egg of Quinlan Vos still being alive, so I doubt he'll ever show up, but it would be cool. I have my suspicions for who may be showing up. We're gonna be heading to Jabim. Oh yeah, and also Leia was captured by Riva. At least that's what the end of last episode implied. As much as I really wanted to react to the first 3 episodes on the channel, there's a part of me that's kind of glad I didn't, just because mainly the first 2 episodes, I'd say they weren't really worth reacting to necessarily. It was really fun getting to see like this kid Leia, and I still think she's perfectly casted. It's fun getting to see her interact with Obi-Wan, and especially last episode, some of the scenes there with Obi-Wan actually talking about his family that he once had at one point, and then also referencing his brother, so possibly, Owen Kenobi ties in there, but not that that's a thing. That would be a retcon of a retcon. In case you don't know, in the original script for the original trilogy, it was originally implied that Owen Lars was Obi-Wan Kenobi's brother. In certain scripts, in the novelization for Return of the Jedi, I believe, it says that, oh yeah, Owen, like we sent Luke as a baby to go live with my brother Owen. Then obviously that was changed in the prequels, and that, Owen Lars is Anakin's stepbrother and blah blah blah. Jesus. There could just be another Owen out there. Another Owen Kenobi. Again, that would be a stretch and pretty fan service, a very specific kind of fan service, but Star Wars is all about that these days. But enough of all that. I'd say, let's get right into the reaction for this episode. Skip intro. No, I don't think I will. I also love the fact that John Williams is composing this show. Just gives a whole new life to this. Also, it's very sweet that Lola, the robot, is named after Carrie Fisher's bird from when she was a kid. It's very touching when they do stuff like that. Get this man some Bacta. If I know anything from Book of Boba Fett, Bacta equals flashbacks. I have a bad feeling about this girl. She is probably going to die.
Get the back to tank ready.
Yep, so these are all refugees. I know Jabim is a reference to the comics, which was a battle that Obi-Wan actually fought in during the Clone Wars. Whew. It's a nice parallel there. He let him go too, which is crazy. This could potentially be kind of like a, evil ending to Force Unleashed kind of reference.
I had a wife once. I knew exactly what she was before we got married. And the Inquisitors found her anyway.
And they let you go?
If you want my help, you got it.
Okay, well that didn't take much.
Fortress Inquisitorius.
It's cool seeing Fortress Inquisitorius. Another Fallen Order tie.
I have officer clearance. I can
can get you inside and I can get you access.
Past is a hard thing to forget, and you just need time, that's all.
Some things can't be forgotten.
Imagine if Vader just comes in right now. Be a hell of a first meeting. Because in episode 4, she does know who Vader is. She calls him Darth Vader.
Well, let's think a little bit harder, shall we?
How dark are you gonna go with this? Because it shows she can do the Kylo. Take it just straight out. There's some of those troopers that Jin disguises as in Rogue One. They have like the staffs and stuff.
Perhaps I should just inform the Grand Inquisitor of your insolence.
Okay, I guess that's not no knowledge that he's dead. It's like Camino all over again. It's also like Fallen Order. That's how you get in as Cal. Oh jeez, but getting salt water on those wounds. Blech. Assuming it's salt water, you know. You never know. What the fuck is that? What kind of Resident Evil boss is that? Just hanging on the side. That'd be fun. Nice little episode 4 nod if you came through the floor. Fuck you, John Williams. Ray moment, maybe? I hate the sequels, but it would...
It's the sister contest.
Don't kill it again. Oh, God. Ew.
Let me see some identification.
You don't need to see my identification. Cool kind of Star Tours nod. If they've been in anything else. I'm pretty sure I've only ever seen those in Star Tours. It's cool seeing him really just having to focus. He's just so out of touch. And to be fair, it would be really hard now because the dark side is just pretty much taken over.
The only person that can save you now, Leia, is you.
Someone's got to save our skins. This is way different from Fallen Order. You just come in guns blazing in that game. Or sabers blazing, I guess. Well, to be fair, Kanan went through the same thing on Rebels. The Inquisitor torture. And Trilla. Oh, wow. This looks like a room of Easter eggs. Terra Sanube? No! God damn it. Aw. Ooh, lightsabers.
They're on Florum. The network runs out of the Certar sector.
Florum? Florum? Hondo, please.
You're lying.
But we could still go to Florum. Please, for the love of God. Oh shit! They got the sounds right this time. The Inquisitors are kind of like Grievous, I guess. They could collect lightsabers. Gotta love that sound. Oh, he's just running. He's just running strapped. Hell yeah. Is that a Purge Trooper? It's a different looking design. Now this is some Fallen Order shit. That's a Death Trooper blaster sound effect. Lightsaber duel? I feel like there's no way out of this. Or... some early Rebels. Why the mouse droid, man? Oh shit. I thought those were only 2-seaters. Oh shit.
Right behind you.
Somebody's up.
What defeat would bring.
I put a tracker on the ship.
Did you? Second sister failed him once, and he killed her. Okay, I need to stop making Fallen Order comparisons. So not Rebels. Okay, it was just these guys. But I mean, it's the start of Rebel Cell, probably. I don't know why that makes me emotional. Ah, okay. Ah, damn. Well... stop falling over. Well, that was episode 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, or part 4, whatever. That was pretty damn good, honestly. I'm pretty good. It's been kind of hard, because there's been so much hype built up for this show. And pretty much every Star Wars thing, there's always such a huge level of hype. Like, obviously, this is a really solid show. There has been moments where it's been kind of a little like, alright, come on, let's get to the point. I love this little story between Obi-Wan and Leia. It gives even more, you know, reason for why he sprung to action in episode 4 to go and save her. I kind of hope this is the end. I hope that it's just we take her back to Alderaan, and these last 2 episodes are at least focused more. Maybe he goes back to Tatooine or whatever. I'm sure there's gonna be at least one more confrontation between Obi-Wan and Vader, but hopefully not too many, just because it kind of undermines their confrontation in episode 4. I almost kind of wish their confrontation in the last episode, he didn't know that Anakin was Vader yet. I kind of wish they met and kind of fought initially and didn't know. Like, obviously Vader knows who Obi-Wan is, but I kind of wish Obi-Wan didn't know quite yet. Like, maybe kind of almost like an Ahsoka in Rebels kind of thing, where she slices off a piece of his mask and then sees I mean, obviously you don't want it to be too much like that, but to be fair, it's been confirmed that this show is getting a season 2, which is good, just because obviously 6 episodes is not nearly enough for this kind of story, especially since we're already down to the last 2, which most likely means cliffhanger, maybe. Just hopefully we won't have to wait super long. Hopefully sometime next year we'll be getting season 2, if not most likely 2024. A lot of interesting little things in this episode. Obviously I kept making references to Fallen Order. I mean, when we're in a Fallen Order location, I can't help but, think about that. Just like every time you go to Fortress Inquisitorius, it always ends up being guns blazing. You're just killing everything in sight. There are a couple Purge troopers. They look like kind of like different design Purge troopers, which I guess makes sense that the armor would change, because the Purge troopers in Fallen Order were more of the airborne clone trooper type armor, and some of them were more like the clone trooper type armor as well. In this now, they're more stormtrooper looking, which makes sense. And speaking of Fallen Order 2, or as it's being called, Jedi Survivor, I know that in terms of the timeline, it pretty much is happening right now. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show, and Jedi Survivor are taking place pretty much exactly at the same time, 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. That's why I'm curious, if at all, that we maybe see Cal Kestis. I would love if that was the case, because Cameron Monaghan does all of his own choreography. Like, he does the motion capture for the most part. You wouldn't necessarily need to have him fight, but no, it'd be a cool thing with him and Obi-Wan. I don't know, we were so close to maybe seeing a Cal Kestis cameo in Bad Batch, and that never happened, so I'm sure there's at least going to be one more big cameo. I don't know, the Terrace Sunube cameo or Easter egg in this was kind of cool. Sad though, because he's dead. It's still cool to see, another little Clone Wars tie there. One thing I'm still waiting for though is that, like, Ewan McGregor himself said that it was fun filming scenes with Hayden Christensen, both when he's in the armor and outside of the armor, which implies it's like, are we gonna see some Clone Wars stuff? Like, I really hope that's the case, but the way it's going, I don't feel like he's gonna have too much PTSD in that, like, much going forward. If anything, it's just gonna be from their confrontation last episode. As much as Reva's kind of an iffy character, I really want to see her fight. I want to see all the Inquisitors fight. Obviously, Fifth Brother's not gonna die. Obviously, I know the Grand Inquisitor is not dead, because again, that would be stupid, because that would literally be breaking canon. The fourth sister, who's the, like, yellow with the pigtails, kind of like a cross between a Twi'lek and a Zabrak. She's fourth sister. I would like to see her fight. I would still like to see Fifth Brother fight, just because from what I see here, he's already much more of a character than what he is in Rebels. I'm sure it maybe will be a case where Fifth Brother and Third Sister eventually fight each other. Good to see Vader just, once Obi-Wan was gone, just fucking woke up and just started immediately trying to kill Third Sister. Good to see she's not completely useless. She at least did something. I'm hoping we see more interactions between Obi-Wan and Owen, just because that was one of my favorite scenes in the opening episode, because obviously what implied in episode 4, it's like Owen and Obi-Wan they're not that close at all. That wizard's just a crazy old man. I mean, Third Sister did threaten that she'd come back on the opposite end of seeing, young Leia here. I'd love to see how they handle young Luke. Like, I'd love to see that. Even though, yes, it's like we've seen Luke's entire story pretty much. But on screen, we haven't seen too much of his upbringing, even though pretty much all of it's implied in episode 4. Like, he's just a moisture farmer. It's like, he wants to be, a pilot. He wants to fight. It was implied in that first episode when he was kind of like, almost pod racing. I'm finally back. I mean, to be fair with Book of Boba Fett, I didn't fully react to that either. Again, like I said, I think it was good for me that I watched those first 3 episodes just on my own and just really focused on it. Not that I wasn't focused in this episode. Now that I get the flow of the show, I get what's happening, I understand the story fully, I think it's good for me to jump in now with reactions. Continue this show going forward, as well as all the other shit that was announced recently, just Jedi Survivor, Tales of the Jedi, like that. That's the one thing that, I mean, I'm looking forward to everything, but that, for me, that's the thing I'm looking the most forward to. Just, of course, you know, I talked about, I love Clone Wars, I just love the style, I just love that time frame, and the idea of Tales of the Jedi, like, we're getting some more Ahsoka stuff, we're getting Dooku flashback stuff, some stuff with Yoda, like that. I'm really looking forward to that stuff, and I'll absolutely be watching that here on the channel. Then, of course, the Andor trailer, I talked about that I probably wouldn't be reacting to Andor, but that trailer, Andor looks like it's gonna be a good show, I think so. Like, it looks different in a good way, is how I would describe it. Of course, it's almost cheating because I've talked about how my favorite kind of music is when they incorporate like bells and church bells and stuff. That was the music for that trailer, so of course it had me hooked. Then of course Bad Batch Season 2 trailer. I probably won't be watching Bad Batch here, just because, watch my tier list video for Star Wars, but Bad Batch will probably be something I just consume on my own time. Thank you for all the recent subscribers who have joined in recent time. You are absolutely welcome. Share these videos with your friends and whatnot, and let's grow the channel. I have a soft goal for myself of maybe reaching 100 subscribers before this year's done. Since we're about halfway through the year, I think it might be possible. Of course, I have to continue the work on my end, but let's do it. I believe. It's fun getting in and watching the Star Wars stuff. The Book of Boba Fett reaction is still one of the most viewed videos on my channel. For good reason, because that's pretty much just like a 20-minute video of me nerding out. That's what Star Wars does to me. It brings out my inner nerd. A lot of fun. Join me next week for part 5, the penultimate episode. I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.